And if I'm not the soul of your design, I a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Wednesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Wednesday. Welcome, everybody. John Lithium, Moanep, Echo Wrestler Dragon kicking things off with a tier 1 sub. 15 months. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Welcome, folks. It is Wednesday. Today we will be doing the dry run for Tuesday, June 10th. This space is launching, folks, and let me tell you, the hype is real. The hype is real, folks. Things are moving and shaking. Very, very, very exciting stuff. I think that this is something that is desperately needed. This is something that is crucial and vital if we are to try to kind of provide some kind of concerted effort as far as left media goes. So I would highly encourage you to go check out the or subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is This Space TV. I will post the link here. Especially the YouTube channel, because that's where we're going to be doing a lot of the live streaming. But it is on every platform that you can think of. There's a This Space handle. Check us out on Blue Sky. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, but mainly YouTube. So yeah, anywhere you can think of, This Space is going to be there. Also, if you're a fellow majority reporter, I highly recommend that you hang in there this upcoming week as well, because there'll probably be something. That's about as much as I'll say. Charlie Martini. So this is going to be the dry run, folks. This would be the intro at this point. I would explain who I am, give my spiel, and then start going right into it. We've got several topics here. I'll try to see if we can make this the entire hour, essentially. What's up? What's up, comrades? Again, This Space TV. If you want to support this channel, folks, I appreciate your support. You guys are what makes this channel go. Check us out everywhere as well on @adifficulttruth. Follow us here on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, do all the things. Like, share, subscribe. We're at over 370 subscribers. If you want to support the channel directly, there are a couple of ways of doing that. Check out the merch store. Hit the exclamation mark tip. Subscribe to the Substack. And if you want to keep up with the channel, join the Discord, folks. I highly recommend it. I will be shouting out when This Space launches, and I will also be shouting out when I will be on. 7 p.m. Eastern time is going to be the time, but I will also put that on the Discord. Bella Lugreasy, welcome. I subscribed. Appreciate that. Oh, Charlie Martini, thank you. Appreciate that. I apologize. All right, folks, let's get started. Let's see if we can actually make this happen. Oh, I thought I had the music going on. All right. There we go. First topic of the day. Elon Musk's Doge is going to be attempted to be codified into law. That's right. The Doge cuts to USAID and public broadcasting, because of course, are going to be attempted to be codified as the Trump administration wants this to happen. Michael Haster, welcome. The silence is spooky. It is a bit weird without the little background music. Meanwhile, Musk has become a liberal again. Comrade Musk. Comrade Musk. Trouble in paradise. Trouble in paradise. I think that's really, really, really funny, and also kind of like a testament to the lack of ideology of Elon Musk. Like, the only thing that he cares about is ultimate power, and he's incredibly narcissistic, just like Trump, And eventually these narcissistic personalities came to a head. The White House sent congressional leaders a request on yesterday, to claw back $9.4 billion in approved spending, most of it for foreign aid. Just to be clear, like the foreign aid that we're talking about, the foreign aid that we're talking about is like crucial for people to live, and also $9.4 billion in the grand scheme of like the government spending that deals with trillions of dollars is not that much, especially for all the bang for our buck that we're getting by spending money on foreign aid, whether it be for medicine, food, humanitarian aid. All of that is incredibly important and does save lives. Do you think it's realistic that 331 voters voted for Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and 0 voters chose to vote Kamala Harris in the Rockland, New York District 35? No. I am seeing that they're disputing that. I think you posted it on the Discord. That is something that I'm very interested in following this story. Violet Quinlaw, megalomaniacs don't share power willingly for very long. Yep. Ladybug, welcome. Mouselander. He's also drugged up to his eyeballs, just like Trump. Seth Evans, welcome. Seminole case questioning the accuracy of the 2024 presidential and Senate election results in Rockland County, New York is moving forward. Yes, that's the thing that you posted. I definitely want to follow up on that because that it's not out of the MO for the Republican Party to be like this, but like, man, to have it documented in case in a court case is something else. I'm definitely following what's going on with that. The gerrymandering, the pushing voter ID, Citizens United, Bush v. Gore, Shelby County. Yep. It hid that from the top of the chat. It's an acknowledged psychological phenomenon. They're desperately in search of their Dred Scott, the last straw that made any possible future but violent conflict inevitable. Morbid Oslo, welcome. What's the common thread? Hate and fear of genuine democracy. Yep. Erica, welcome. The so-called rescissions package that would slash funding to the USAID, AID, NPR, and PBS, and it would aim to codify cuts proposed by the Department of Government Efficiency, the advisory entity that was helmed by President Trump's billionaire ally Elon Musk until he left his post last week. The package would require simple majority support in the House and Senate, and meaning Republicans could bypass Democrats to pass it. That's cool. Gore won that election. Imagine if we had to deal with climate change instead of having war on terror. Yeah. That's really where I saw my version of multiverse decided to burn. Yep, this is the timeline we got. Unfortunately. The package that includes $8.3 billion in cuts to foreign aid including a number of programs designed to support LGBTQ communities. There are also cuts to education and transportation programs, reproductive health, and funding for the World Health Organization, as well as $142 million in cuts for UNICEF, and nearly $9 million in cuts to the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief. So, I mean, like, this is just ghoulish stuff. This is just ghoulish stuff. Because, like, again, $142 million in the grand scheme of, like, the federal budget is like nothing, right? And they'll happily raise the military budget by tens of billions of dollars. They'll happily give billionaires tax cuts, but when it comes to actual helpful policy, that's got to go. The cruelty is the point, folks. Bush Gore was the perfect example of what happens when people vote for the wrong candidates. They just give it to the other guy anyways. Smart Elections is a site where you can find the info on discrepancies in the 2024 election. There are many. If Gore had fought, we wouldn't have had 9/11. I don't know. It would certainly be a different timeline. And if 9/11 did happen, the response would certainly be, would it be the same? Would it be different? I don't know. The $9.4 billion represents a drop in the bucket when set against the $6.8 trillion that the U.S. government spends annually. That's exactly what I was saying. And congressional Republicans are seeking, and like they're saying that like this $9.4 billion is like making the government more efficient, right? These are the massive, okay? Because like when people look at $9.4 billion, that's a big number. But like when we're talking about the federal government, we're talking about trillions. We're talking about trillions. I mean, like, we're talking, what, point something percent? It probably would have been different. It's hard to say with the military industrial complex, but I personally feel we wouldn't have had a war on terror. Maybe it wouldn't have been the war, like how we did it when Bush was in power. Which would also mean a lot more freedoms these days. Kids learning chemistry still exist. Senate Majority Leader John Thune and House Speaker Mike Johnson both have said they would quickly take up the request. Congress has 45 days to pass the package once it has been submitted. They won't even teach kids practical chemistry these days in case they make a bomb. This rescissions package reflects many of DOJA's findings and is one of the many legislative tools Republicans are using to restore fiscal sanity. Again, like the fiscal sanity that we're talking about, so that people aren't confused, or that, this fiscal sanity that we're talking about is a percentage point in the trillions of dollars that the government manages, right? That's the fiscal sanity that we're talking about. None of this is anything to do with government efficiency, and it has everything to do with efficiently transferring wealth from the poor to the rich. That's the only efficiency that we're finding here. Okay? Is you want to talk about government spending? You want to talk about government waste? Let's talk about the military budget. Let's talk about how we are taking food out of people's mouths to fund tax cuts for the billionaires. Okay? You want to talk about waste? Let's talk about how we're going to kick anywhere from 10 to 13 million people out of their health care, so that, again, we can give tax cuts to the billionaire class. One big, beautiful, bloated military budget. Exactly. And OK Life, welcome. 64% of spending was unaccounted for in the last Pentagon budget. That's so close to 2/3. It's a rounding error. Yeah, also, like, hey, when was the last time the Pentagon passed an audit? You want to talk about waste? You want to talk about fraud? You want to talk about abuse? Real quick, can somebody answer that question for me? When was the last time? When was the last time the Pentagon passed an audit? It would probably be easier to ask the question, when did they pass? When have they passed an audit? Would probably be an easier question. They refused for a decade, then they failed every one since they started them. Cool. But are we going to talk about that? You know, we're going to talk about that. Potential waste, potential fraud, potential abuse. No, of course not, you know. And by the way, like, Elon did say that he wanted to take a look at the military budget. And of course, everyone forgot about that. And he never did, because he was never intending on doing so, because of all the conflict of interest that he and his SpaceX. And yeah, I think SpaceX is the main one that works with the military. That's cool. We won't go into that, right? New 6Bs, not margarine. The Pentagon has not fully passed an audit. We got planes falling into the ocean. Yep. A lot of bribery and corruption in the military industrial complex. Yep. The condition of the agency's accounting is so poor that it is impossible to comprehensively assess the agency's financial records. Yeah, so like you want to talk about waste, fraud, and abuse. Let's start there. My dog says hi to you all. Her name is Clementines. Well, hello, Clementines. Welcome, Winnie Rhodes. Wolfland, welcome. Also, all the bag ops that will never show up on a budget line. Yep. Hello, are you communist or fascist? Yes. Heat, how's it going? According to a September 2024 Government Accountability Office report, the Defense Department remains the only major federal agency that has never been able to achieve a clean audit opinion. Yeah, and like, you know, you would imagine that the Department of Government Efficiency would be attempting to figure that out, to figure that one out. Are fascists ever self-aware and honest enough to identify as fascists? I mean, like, a lot of fascists, like, know that it's morally bankrupt, so fascists are always playing word games with fascism, right? Like, they never say, like, I'm a fascist. They'll say, like, oh, I'm just a pan-European whatever, right? I'm not a fascist. I'm just America first. I'm not a fascist. I'm just an alternative for Germany. I'm not a fascist. I just what else they paleo whatever. I'm just a paleo conservative, right? Okay. It's so exhausting. Oh yeah, 100% Paolo Greasy. The communists, by contrast, disdain to conceal our views and aims. We openly declare that our ends can be attained by only forcibly overthrowing all the existing social conditions. Fascism is all about infiltrating democratic systems and then turning them against the populace and breaking them down so no one can replace them. It's certainly their modus operandi. Mussolini covers it in the doctrine of fascism. Yeah, I'm not a fascist. I'm a civic nationalist, okay? Oh no, we're pretty bad. Honestly, like, our military by itself makes, like, if our military was its own country, we'd be pretty up there as far as emissions. As far as, like, the carbon footprint that the military has, it's pretty massive. Exactly. Although I'd take on the caveat that that can matter in some contexts, they usually have their own tortured logic that justifies it as actually ultimately good. They're just aware of on it on some level that their idea of good, as warped and deranged is so far from a medium person's idea of good that they need to lie about it. Yep. Yep. Yeah, if you're not anti-fascist, what would you be? Questions, right? Questions for later. If you are against the people who are against fascism, what does that make you? Anyways, rescission packages usually fail because Congress, which controls the power of the purse, typically rejects attempts by a president to decline to allocate certain spending at spending it has directed, because that power belongs to Congress, right? That power of the purse belongs to Congress, and normally they don't like the president trying to intervene because there's supposed to be some kind of separation of power. You see, Congress is already is captured at the moment, so they kind of no longer exist in the sense of like your traditional in the sense of like how Congress is supposed to operate. Congress is just another extension of Trump, right? Because they're just doing what he wants, essentially. And if you want to be generous, not only if you want to be generous, they're refusing to stop him from doing what he wants, right? So either they're just simply rubber stamping what he wants or failing to stop him, both of which would fall under the responsibilities of Congress, right? To maintain that separation of government. Congress is also responsible for oversight, so they're not doing any of that. That's just out the window. Oh, sorry to hear that, Quinlaw. Yeah, Congress is behind this, correct. So they basically like they don't exist in the sense of like how they're supposed to be operating, right? Senator Susan Collins, is this the same Susan Collins that proclaimed that President Trump would learn his lesson? Yeah. The chair of the Appropriations Committee said there's still some questions about the process, telling reporters on Monday, yeah, sure, we're still talking with the parliamentarian about what we can and can't be done, referring to the in-house referee for Senate rules. I wonder, like, if it's true that the parliamentarian rules against the Republican Party and their attempts to shoehorn this in. Do you think that honestly the Republican Party is going to care, like, as a whole? Despite like this one person being like, I don't know about that. No, I don't think that they care. In fact, I'm pretty sure they said that they're not going to care what the parliamentarian is going to do. It's extremely complex in the rules because there hasn't been a successful rescission package in many, many years. The House Freedom Caucus, the fascist hardliners, is pushing for a speedy vote on the package. The House Freedom Caucus strongly supports these critical rescissions, and we will support as many more rescission packages the White House can send us in the coming weeks and months. Of course, led by Representative Andy Harris, said in a statement, while the swamp will inevitably attempt to slow and kill these cuts, there's no excuse for a Republican House not to advance the first no rescission package the same week it is presented to Congress, then quickly send it for passage in the Republican Senate so President Trump can sign it into law. I mean, like, you gotta hit that rubber stamp quickly. Gotta be quick. By the way, incidentally, the swamp is also a term that Hitler used to refer to the establishment. They're going to fire the parliamentarian. That wouldn't surprise me. That would not surprise me. In fact, didn't Johnson make a statement about this? Or was it Johnson? The White House, Senators Whitehouse, Padilla, and Adam Schiff warned that Republicans plan to overrule the parliamentarian and overturn California's Clean Air Act waivers amounts to going nuclear. So definitely they've talked about this. They've definitely this is Senator Warren. Republicans, quote, Republicans are breaking the rules of the Senate and they will have to live with the consequences. They don't care. Look, this is just like this is just wishful thinking. The Republicans don't care. Okay. Bad lefty, welcome. Ladybug, gotta jump. Thank you for stopping by, Winnie Rose. Appreciate it. Gonna get a new license with the updated name. Cool. United States Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, ranking member of the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee, released this following statement on the Republicans' plan to overrule the Senate parliamentarian and use the Congressional Review Act to undermine the Clean Air Act in California. Republicans are breaking the rules of the Senate. They will have to live with the consequences. Senate Banking Committee Democrats are prepared to force votes to overturn actions by the Trump administration on issues in our jurisdiction. From big bank mergers to undermining consumer protection, Republicans will have to answer to the American people why they're rigging the economy for Wall Street instead of lowering costs for the American people. I mean, like, yeah, but like you have this problem with your team too. I would say that focus on like the fascism, man, and also like threaten to use the same thing. Like if we're just gonna throw rules out the window, then why have them? Okay. Ladybug, welcome. Don't know if I said hello. Yeah, to trick people into thinking we have actual rules. This news calls for a big old Wheaties. A big bowl of Wheaties. I hear that. And diffuse the more radical actions people might otherwise take. Yeah, I mean, like, if there's no rules, right, then, like, why have the parliamentarian? Right? Like, why have them? I believe Michael Hassler said earlier, just fire them. Like, why is their position necessary if they're just going to ignore them anyways? And remember how we were told that we couldn't ignore the parliamentarian because that's bad? Well, The U.S. is behaving like a developing economy, but its stocks are 6 times more expensive than other developing economies. We're not doing that great. We're not doing that great. Yeah, why not overthrow the government by any means necessary? Looks like your YouTube is popping. It is. Well, I'm in that class, but they do laws against me and saying it publicly. June 10th. Yep. Is today the new show thing? Today is the dry run. Yes. Today is the dry run. Frantifa raid. The dress rehearsal was yesterday and today. Welcome, Looney Tunes. I hope people don't really think we can overcome a tyrannical GOP government. They will. Friends, Frantifas, lend your ears. Yes, and your attention for the folks that are just walking in. Please check out the YouTube. This Space TV will be on there Tuesday. It's going to be the launch. It's going to be massive, okay? It's going to be massive. I really, really, really am excited about this. June 10th, yes. I will be doing the 7 p.m. slot. But yeah, it'll be a few hours. Jamie Dimon just said, forget Bitcoin, invest in guns and raw materials. You know, that's the sign. That's a good sign of the times, you know? That's a good sign of the times. I almost jumped over there, but I came here because someone said it was about to end. Yeah, I mean, it's right here, folks. It's going to launch on June 10th. Bigly. All announcements are on Discord. Yes! So join the Discord. There'll be an announcement when this space goes live, and there'll be an announcement when I go live. On this space. It's over? No, it's not over. We got a few more. We got a few more. It's only 6 p.m. Why is it ending? No, we got a few more. We're gonna go through all of the articles. Okay. We're gonna go through all the articles. Also, folks, while I'm here, tomorrow it is possible. It's most likely it's most likely the case that there will be no stream tomorrow. But yeah, we'll be in full gear next week. next week is gonna be next week is gonna be quite the week. I'm in a glass of emotion. No, they're talking about the friend Tifa. To celebrate Kirkenstein's monster? True. Their birthday? Yep, for the third month in a row. So in my mind, that's not the correct strategy. Yeah, I mean, like it's more of a self-preservation, you know. We got Lance to fill in though. I don't know what Jamie Dimon is seeing to make that statement. I mean, like, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Jamie Dimon is an oligarch. But there is a reason why he's saying that. Remember, these people are more privy to information than we are. Because that's a pretty weird statement to say. To just be like, yeah, just stockpile those things, you know? Yeah, Jamie Dimon sounds like an 80s rock singer. My birthday is Tuesday, happens every week. Got it. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. All right. So the Musk Doge cuts are being referred to Congress so that they can pass. Meanwhile, there's a lot of trouble in paradise. Republicans scramble to avoid a war with Elon Musk, who is now woke. That's right. Elon Musk is welcome, Comrade Musk. House Republicans are dismayed by Elon Musk's harsh criticism of the president's one big beautiful bill and are now trying to talk to him, now trying to talk their erstwhile ally down from the ledge. With over $400 billion at his disposal, which is really what the issue is here, the Tesla and SpaceX owner could drown Republicans in opposition cash, and he's saying the GOP lawmakers who voted for the bill should be fired. Mike Johnson said he called Elon Musk on Tuesday, but that the recently departed Trump lieutenant didn't answer, adding that he hopes to talk to him today. Please, Elon, please, money, please. I mean, friendship, please, money, money, money. I'm so ready for Elon to no longer be in the news. I think we all are. Coming out of their closed-door conference meeting, House Republicans projected optimism they can get Musk back on their side. Please, 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 money, 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 money. There's a sense that Elon is still learning about the full number of wins in the one big beautiful bill. Another House Republican speaking on the condition of anonymity to describe the private conversations told Axios. Yeah, sure, man. Please, please, money, please. The lawmaker said the House Republicans have talked to him in the last 24 hours and helped him understand the big picture. Here's the big picture, okay? Please don't use your money to depose us. We like power. We need your money. That's the big picture, okay? That's the big picture, okay? And you get your tax cuts, okay? You don't need to be all concerned about how this is going to blow up the deficit, okay? Incidentally, the reason why the deficit is exploding is because we got to give you your tax cuts, okay? So you can't complain about the deficit when you're getting your tax cuts, okay, Elon? That's the big picture, okay? Also, please give us money. We need money. Have I mentioned that we need money? Another House Republican told Axios, I think he'll recognize maybe more than most the challenges that we face when we're trying to cut spending and give you tax cuts. He simply wants more spending, as I understand it. He should know how hard that is. It's not, but okay. Ironically, Elon Musk pays no taxes. They were hoping he'd be the new Kissinger. I knew he was going to be woke. Mac is going to drop him. It's probably going to make him desperate to win them back, so he'll do a few more salutes. Yeah. Elon knows it affects Tesla, which is sitting on a crap ton of Cybertrucks it can't sell, and it also affects SpaceX since its rockets are steel. Its wealth, like other billionaires, is all in loans, and you don't pay taxes on loans, just interest. Yep. Mitch and his ilk are not fans of this kind of open-handed money grubbing. They prefer the backroom deals. Yeah, it can't be too in the open. That's uncouth. Musk slammed the bill as a disgusting abomination on Tuesday, writing on Twitter, "Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong, and you know it. You know you did wrong. You know it." In another post, Musk responded to another user's criticism of the bill, writing, "In November next year, we fire all politicians who betrayed the American people." All but 5 House Republicans voted for the reconciliation bill last month. Johnson said he had a great conversation with Musk on Monday morning before a social media rampage, and that it's curious to me what happened this week. House Speaker said Musk told him that in that conversation that he would lend support to Republicans in the 2026 election, which is like the real important that's the real important thing right here. We need money. So if they increase the interest rates to lower tax rates, it will negatively affect all billionaires, which is the reason interest rates need to stay low. That makes total sense, actually. There's also simmering anger behind the scenes, with Johnson telling colleagues in the conference meeting that Trump is pissed off at Musk. According to a source familiar with his comments. Amazing. Trouble in paradise. Holy city, welcome. Is Musk rebranding, or is he coming at it as a libertarian? Honestly, like, the genuine answer is probably like he's just protecting his own pocket. So he sees this affecting him personally, right? So he's not on board with important pieces of this bill. Third House Republican argued that the bill benefits middle-class families and tax-paying working-class people. It doesn't, and that maybe that upsets the billionaire class. I don't know. That's actually fantastic. That like a Republican is trying to use left-coded language to sell this bill. It is actually like amazing. The fact that like they want to like use lefty coded language, okay, talking about how we're going to help the middle class and working class families, and that would upset the billionaire class, is kind of like sort of pseudo lefty coded language, when in reality this does like the exact opposite. So it's like it shows you that they're conscious of the class divide. They just hate you. That's it. They're very conscious of this working class, billionaire class divide. They just hate you. Wolfglen, welcome. I don't know if I said hello. The reason to get interest rates low is that it can affect rates on bonds and how much the government has to pay. Partially libertarian, partially it's likely it's up to his interest payments, and he has a lot of loans. If Elon didn't park all his wealth in untaxed stocks, it'd have less of an effect on his pocket. It's being pushed on an ideological grounds, not actually because the billionaires need a tax break. They pay like 3 to 5 interest rates and have no taxable income. Us poors are basically subhuman. Yep. and they know it. They're very conscious of this. Yeah, they just hate you. They just hate us. Seth Evans, welcome. I think he's flat wrong, Johnson said at the press conference. I think he's way off, and I've told him this much. To all this monopoly money they play our lives with. Yep. Elon's wealth isn't liquid, it's all projected wealth. Yep. And I think that's the video that we watched the other day about how we can kind of circumvent that is just to start expropriating their like property. Like, okay, you have a bunch of billions in stocks or whatever. How's that yacht? It's our yacht now. Oh, you have a multi-million-dollar, I don't know, summer home. Yoink. The rich want to entrench themselves in their current position, and part of that requires locking us in where we are. Yep. But really, loans should have tax on them, and you wouldn't have this issue with housing. We have the same on Australia for some reason. I mean, like, yeah, but you can also just be like, well, you do not need, you do not need an extra house. That belongs to the people. Your third vacation home? Nah, fam. We did it with the Russians. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's under different circumstances, but we absolutely seized their property. Seized Russian oligarch property. So it's the same execution of plan. So life, I'm too poor to know the difference between stocks and shares. I always thought they were synonyms. Same. Honestly, same. Stocks are shares, are they not? Strip people within 3 standard deviations of median wealth, but especially the lower side. Our yacht or your submarine, Mr. Billionaire? They can keep the submarine. That one's on the house, okay? To the third world, we're all rich. What does that have to do with anything? Like, what was the point of that comment? Shares can be fractional portions of stocks. Ah, okay, gotcha. I just mean the game they play with taking out loans and buying property, using it for more loans wouldn't work. Gotcha. Is investing in submarine tours for billionaires. Yeah, just make sure that you do it from a safe distance. You know what I mean? Like, you can hand them the controller, the plate. You can even be generous and give them, like, a nicer controller. Okay, like, instead of that Logitech controller, you give them, like, an Xbox controller. Okay, that one's on the house. One issue with the wealthy is that the vacation home or apartments in major cities around the world will be held by their companies. Yeah. Yeah, a whole overhaul about, like, the way we treat, because, like, the way we treat, like, corporations and the rules around that, Like, yeah, the whole thing needs to be up. It's again, it's something that can be done if Congress woke up, and wanted to do that. Congress can to work around like the because the government decides whether or not your company can own whether your corporation can own said subsets of land, right? Like they could make regulations where corporations can't own like family homes. They could make regulations where corporations are only allowed to have like industrial or commercial property. If your 3-bedroom house is being listed as a commercial property, like that's not gonna fly. Again, this is just like speculation of like how I would make legislation, you know, within the confines of what we have here. I actually spent a few years growing up subsistence farming, so I have an idea what it's like to be pretty poor for someone in the West. I know, it's just like gross framing. That's kind of why I made that comment. Also, the username is giving me weird vibes. The username is giving me weird vibes. I kicked them. All right. Sounds good to me. I remember waiting an entire year for the corn to be plantable and growing them and having police come knock on my door 2 years in case there were, quote, drugs. Yeah. That's wild. Well, they keep nothing in their names, always corporations. Yeah, I'm automatically suspicious when someone drops first or third world. Yeah, and like the framing of like, oh, but we're the poorest person in the first world is considered very rich in the third world. Yeah, tell them to kick rocks. We did. Particularly when they prove they're historically literal as to the actual original meaning of the terms and the way they use them. Like, it's way too commonly used to be sure it's an indicator of faulty assumptions, but it's very often. Yeah, I don't think we were going to get very far. Barbadaslo, welcome with that person. I don't think we're going to get very, very far with that person. Part of Los Angeles is first world and the other parts is third world. First world synonym for rich versus third world synonym for poor. Yeah, I don't know. They just gave me the wrong vibes. Also, like, the username was kind of weird. I'm also willing to have some dialogue with someone who's sincere, but that username was offensive enough. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I don't like it. Didn't give me the. It didn't pass the vibe check. It didn't pass the vibe check. I'm pretty sure we were not gonna garner very much productive conversation from put on my Ben Shapiro voice here. Chunky P word perils. What? A good task asks such a person whatever happened to the second world, you think? Yeah, that's a good I'll keep that in my back pocket. Don't say it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. This is a strictly PG stream, okay? We got to be on our A game. Okay? We got to be on our A game for Tuesday. I saw a video of an ex-cop that set up a fake grow house to lure his former district into unlawfully raiding the house. He got it all on camera. Jeez. It would have been a dry conversation. The concept of the Second World was a construct of the Cold War, and the term is still largely used to describe a former communist country that had between poverty and prosperity, many of which are now capitalist states such as Eastern Europe. I've been working on a Ben Shapiro impersonation. I don't think I can talk that fast. I've been working on a Ben Shapiro impersonation. I can't do it. I can't go that fast. We have first world living standards, but third world economy. That's actually a pretty good, accurate description. The entire communist capitalist origin of the term is lost in modern usage. I can't sound like that much of a weasel. And third world being unaligned in former colonies. Yep. Just a degenerated first, rich, third world is all that remains. Yep. To be Shapiro, you need to use redundant adjectives. Sarah's welcome. One has to wonder, no background check? Nope. I mean, honestly, like, if I was the significant other and, like, I heard Ben Shapiro's podcast, like, that would be the end of it, right? Like, and never mind, like, never mind the, Ben Shapiro's podcast. It's the fact that, like, he allows people like Matt Walsh, okay, to have a platform, right? Like, that tells me that he's implicitly okay with the kind of stuff that Matt Walsh says, and he can pretend to be like, well, I don't agree with everything that other people say, like Candace Owens, but I mean, when you watch Matt Walsh, I mean, like, the dude's like a white supremacist, and Ben Shapiro's completely fine with him going, on their platform. I don't know if Ben Shapiro's like the owner anymore, but he's was one of the big guys there, and continues to allow someone like Matt Walsh there. I mean, like, as a significant other, I'm out of here. That's the only testament of character I need right there. One can only reasonably conclude that she had to know what she was marrying, and they deserve each other. Right, he's more than okay, in my opinion. He directly signs off it and profits off it. Yep. Women are brainwashed by the patriarchy like men are. It's not a blame game, we all lose. That's true. That's actually a very good point. FYI, I'm going live on Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern after the Majority Report ends. Go subscribe to the Looney Tunes, folks. I agree. With these days, China still being considered developing and the US and Australia being considered to be developed makes not much sense. All right, folks. It's been just about an hour since the stream started. So we're gonna wrap up these stories, and that actually was pretty good. That was actually pretty good. The Trump's 50% steel and aluminum tariffs, as we were talking, someone mentioned Elon's going to be affected by this because of SpaceX. It take effect today. Here's what could get more expensive. And we'll go through some of the lists that they put out here. The Trump administration raised tariffs on aluminum and steel to 50%, a move experts say could increase the cost of everything from homes to cars to household and office supplies. While the U.S. has carved out its own niche in domestic metals manufacturing, it also relies on imports from abroad. To fill the gaps. America has imported 26.2 metric tons of steels and 54 million metric tons of aluminum from abroad last year. The White House has been aggressively trying to pare back on America's reliance on foreign nations, imposing 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum in February, citing national security concerns, which is where the justification was. On February, President Trump, during a visit at the U.S. Steel Mill in Pittsburgh on May 30th, announced he was doubling down on that rate, raising 25% levies to 50%. The higher tariffs went into effect Wednesday at 12:01 Eastern. While the new tariffs have won over some of the nation's largest steelmakers, who saw huge gains in shares pricing following Mr. Trump's announcement, experts say levies will raise the cost of manufacturing on a wide range of products, making many items more expensive to buy. That's because businesses typically pass on most or all of tariff-related costs to consumers through higher prices, according to economists. I mean, that's just like basic common sense, right? That's my beer. Glad I waited to bring my metals to the scrapyard. That will hurt the people working in those industries and put their jobs under stress, said Wayne Weingarten, a senior fellow and director of Pacific Research Institute, a right-leaning think tank. It's also going to put pressure on consumers because those prices are going to increase. Cars. Okay. Sports equipment. Beers and soda cans, as Michael Hassler mentioned. Canned goods and packaged grocery items. You know, food. Meanwhile, Trump's merch is all made outside of the U.S. I thought I already did, but apparently you can't click on names in chat and go to their page. I had to physically type out your tag. I'll never get that back. Household appliances and supplies. Homes, because it takes steel and aluminum and stuff to make tools to build homes. Beer, no, this has gone too far. Well, I'm glad that that's where we're drawing the line here. Thought we made aluminum in a lab. Why is aluminum foil so cheap then? Take notes, folks. These tariffs are going to start affecting prices soon, if nothing happens. My fizzy water! Yep. The Trump administration revokes guidance requiring hospitals to provide emergency abortions. The biggest thing stopping people rebuilding houses in my town is insurance. Oof. Can't get a bank loan without insurance, but I'm in Australia. Beer's a sedative for the masses. Ironically, if beer did double in price, that could cause riots. I could see that, honestly. Honestly, yeah, probably. One of the more likely things to cause riots. Yeah, I mean, like, when you talk about bread and circus, like, you kind of need to have the bread aspect, right? Wonders if toilet water swirls the other way down under. It's now 170 for a pouch of tobacco, or about 25 to 30 for a 6-pack. Don't waste my coffee. As far as I know, can't grow coffee in America, but Hawaii, yep. People with anxiety tend to be the ones to lean towards alcohol. That's interesting. We have an 8-story building that was made without steel beams. The structure support comes from micro-laminated fast-growth timber. Huh. Why does Top Chat even exist? I don't know. YouTube is weird like that. YouTube has like its own universe going on. Oh, hey folks. So we have a official lineup for this space. We have left of the box. We have, check this lineup, folks. Before I finish, check this lineup, folks. We're gonna share this also on my Discord. We have left of the box, the Humanist Report, the Letter Hack Presents, Like It or Not with Rebecca Azor, Alex, The Power Report, Environmental Coffee House, I'm Not a Bot, welcome back, A Difficult Truth, me, Movie Runtime, The Leftist Mafia, Political Clickbaity, Jeff Waldorf, The Angry Ginger, Andrea, I believe, The Benjamin Dixon Show, Dieter McBusiness, Hey Funny Book with the Letter Hack, Beard Bonnet Chronicles, Left Past 10, and Politics and Paper. Knows to find an angry ginger. And a few others. Will this be on Twitch too or just YouTube? I believe just YouTube. So check that lineup, folks. That is a power lineup. How Marcus doesn't come into the show via clickbaity. He means well and back Bernie, but he's liberal. He's at liberal knowledge. As GT has been working at this for so long, I'm personally happy he's being included. Me too. I'm happy. I'm happy for so many reasons. Like number one, I get to work with quite the impressive amount line of impressive folks. I mean, we're playing with the A team over here. And number two, I think that it's so important to have a cohesive left media ecosphere of all these independent creators. Especially in times like this, I think that the messaging is important. I think that the politics is important. I think that it's I am glad that it's trying. We're gonna try to get this off the ground, and we're gonna hit that ground running. Am I in the right place? I'm looking for Palestinian news streams. Well, I apologize. No, this is not the right place. Even though I do support, the Palestinian cause as a humanitarian myself. I don't mind Sabby at times. It just depends on the subject. A few weeks ago, Marcus brought on Sabby Sabs as a guest. I mean, like I've seen her tweets. But yeah, cohesive, coherent communication. Exactly. I don't think I get Sabby. I know Marcus at the point of June 10th is to build a broader coalition. Correct. It is June 10th. As far as Twitch goes, I don't know if there's a Twitch. I'm gonna say no. I think it's going to be on YouTube and basically every other social media platform. But mainly the main thing is on YouTube. Like how we're gonna stream out is gonna be on YouTube. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Sabby is a Jimmy Dore stan. Oh, sorry. Soul Life and I are leftist mafia mods. Bad Lefty is a power report mod, and Soul, Bad Lefty, and BCat and I are left of the box mods. Nearly everyone is a letter hack mod, and Bella and I are ECH mods. I don't have that many wrenches and swords under my belt, but focus on the things we agree on so we can get it done. Yep. I'm glad that we're going to be kind of in this space, you know? Or it's going to be a cage match, but hopefully not ADT. It's okay. I'm about it. It's honestly the main reason I've always looked at her credibility as sus. Who, Sabby Sabs? Yeah. Alright, folks, let's get through this last article. What? Did my stream restart? Oof. Anyways. I'm willing to accept the mission of an honest, reasonable mistake on Dore. He was not always as obviously grifting as he is today. Many have made that mistakes. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, Dore has left the planet. Jimmy Dore has left the existence. I had to refresh. Yeah, I just noticed that my timer restarted, so I was like trying to keep track. It says 1 hour for me. Okay. I don't know. It was some weird stuff happened over here. Mine just kept playing after a glitch. Yeah, maybe it's on the maybe it happened on the Twitch side since YouTube seems to be okay. YouTube works fine. Yeah, maybe Twitch had a little hiccup there. Anyways, we're gonna try to finish this here. And that's it. Like we've already passed the time that we needed to pass, so I think we're good to go. The Trump administration announced on Tuesday that it would revoke the guidance to the nation's hospital that directed them to provide emergency abortions for women when they are necessary to stabilize their medical condition. This is something that I believe the Biden administration offered, or not offered, but did. So yeah, I mean, like, who does this, right? That revoking the guidance to the nation's hospital that directed them to provide emergency abortion for women when they're necessary to stabilize their medical condition, i.e., so like, uh, just die, I guess, just die. The guidance was issued to a hospital in 2022. To hospitals in 2022, weeks after the Supreme Court upended national abortion rights in the U.S. It was an effort by the Biden administration to preserve the abortion access for extreme cases in which women are experiencing medical emergencies and needed an abortion to prevent organ loss or severe hemorrhaging, among other serious complications. The Biden administration argued that hospitals, including one in states with near total bans, needed to provide an emergency abortion under the Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act. The law required emergency rooms that receive Medicare dollars to provide exam and stabilizing treatment for all patients. Nearly all emergency rooms rely on Medicare funds. Yep. The Trump administration announced on Tuesday that it's no longer enforcing that policy. The move prompted concerns from some doctors and abortion rights advocates that women will not get emergency abortions in states with strict bans. Yep. We need more babies, but don't have babies. But also, if you do, then, like, I guess if you die, you die. I mod for the Serve, Soleil. Nice. Sateo, Vanguard. I'm one of the real mods on the letter hack. Nice. Oh man, I have two rogue mods apparently. Two rogue mods. That's insane. Look at that. The real mods of Lettercat kills. You mean the real MAGA communists? Yeah. Yeah. That tracks. I mean, what do you have to do to get banned on Tina and Maple Takes? Those people are chill. If you've ever watched like a Maple Takes stream and a Tina underscore 2 stream, that's chill. Modding goes to your head, you get a power trip, believe me. As a mod, being given a sword gives you abilities that some might consider unnatural. The Trump administration would rather women die in emergency rooms than receive life-saving abortions. Yep. Said Nancy Northrop, president and CEO of the Center for Reproduction Rights, said in a statement, in pulling back guidance, the administration is feeding the fear and confusion that already exists at hospitals in every state where abortion is banned. Hospitals need more guidance, not less, to stop them from turning away patients experiencing pregnancy crises. I mean, like, again, this is a problem. When you don't have healthcare that is guaranteed to you. Wanted to be a cop, but became a software engineer instead. That is a good call. I have 3 swords. My dad made 2 of them. I only carry but the one. They need legal immunity for providing just basic medical care. Yep. Anti-abortion advocates, meanwhile, praise the announcement. Marjorie DeVancer, president of Pro-Life America, said in a statement that the Biden-era policy had been a way to expand abortion access in states where it had banned. Democrats have created the confusion on this fact to justify their extremely unpopular agenda for all trimester abortions. So this is just like a fancy. This is not true. So first of all, abortion is a very popular issue. People like their bodily autonomy. This idea that like people are having abortions like just in the 3rd trimester, because like this is what she wants. She wants to paint the picture of like all these massive abortions happening on the 3rd trimester, which is just not true. It's just not true. And if there are abortions at the 3rd trimester, it's because of some wild complications. It is certainly not because like at that point, like you're basically like with the understanding that you're carrying this child to term. Why would you just wake up and have an abortion on the 3rd trimester? This just doesn't make any sense. Nobody does this. This is BS. In situations where every minute counts, their lies lead to delayed care and put women in needless, unacceptable danger. No, actually, you see, like every accusation is just a confession. What your lies do is put what your lies do is lead to delayed care and put women in needless and unacceptable danger, up to and including death. Okay. Right, there's a good reason that patients and doctors shouldn't need to justify some subhuman intellect reactionary just to get medical care. Right. Third trimester abortions are always a tragedy. Yeah, because like at that point, it's like kind of understood that you wanted the child. Like something has to have gone horribly wrong for either your health or the child's health to be like at doing something so extreme at the 3rd trimester, right? It just doesn't happen. We're talking about like the baby had some kind of like fatal or condition, or the mom is going to die. Like that's it. Like the very very rare situations, and usually those include life. Those are usually like life and death situations, or like the baby's just like the baby's gone. There's no way saving it. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, the idea that like people are just having 3rd trimester abortions left and right is just nonsense. Correct, Violent Quinlaw. The AP investigation last year found that even the Biden administration's guidance, dozens of pregnant women were being turned away from emergency rooms, including some who needed emergency abortions. The Center for Medicare and Medical Services, which provides oversight of hospitals, said in a statement that it will continue to enforce the federal law that, including for identified emergency medical conditions that place the health of a pregnant woman or her unborn child in serious jeopardy. But CMS added that it also rectified any perceived legal confusion and instability created by the former administration's actions. The Biden administration sued Idaho over its abortion law that initially only allowed abortions to save the life of the mother. The federal government had argued that before the Supreme Court last year that Idaho's law was in conflict with federal law, which requires stabilizing treatment that prevents a patient's condition from worsening. The U.S. Supreme Court issued a procedural ruling in the case last year that left key questions unanswered about whether doctors in abortion-banned states can terminate pregnancies when a woman is at risk of serious infection, organ loss, or hemorrhage. I mean, like, just die, I guess, right? A partial miscarriage can result in sepsis and death regardless of trimester. Abortion is healthcare. Yep. And they do sometimes emergency C-sections for that reason, although it's last resort. Right. And like also like, it's a very like big decision. So I mean like, it's not like people are just like, doing abortions left and right because they want to. First of all, it's their choice, right? Second of all, none of your business. And third of all, like there are serious health implications with holding this important healthcare. Matt, welcome. Came in right as I was about to get ready to sign off. Was in a 3-week coma from sepsis. Yikes. That sounds rough. All right, folks. It's time for me to get out of here. Thank you all for being here. Folks, as I was saying earlier, thank you for your support. And make sure that you check out this space, especially on YouTube. But pretty much on any social media that you can think of, check out This Space TV. It launches Tuesday, June 10th. You can also join our Discord, and I will be making announcements when the YouTube goes live, and I will be making an announcement when I go live on this space. Check out the link, folks. We have some very heavy hitters that are going to be a part of this project. And I am very excited and thankful and proud to share this space with them and with all of you. This space, not that other space. It's right here on this space. Thanks for the stream. Appreciate it. Next Thursdays, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Just did. Thank you, Echo Resto Dragon. Thank you, Event. Ladybug. Looney Tunes. This space banned me because I do charity work for orphans. Just sub. Thank you. This space, just in case. Yeah, not that one. This space. Okay? Moanip, thank you. Just sub. Appreciate it. Look at that. Pretty excited about Leftist Mafia. Yeah, there's some heavy hitters, folks. There's some heavy hitters. Leftist Mafia being one of them. Benjamin Dixon being another. The Letter Hack. Jeff Waldorf. Rebecca Azor. Environmental Coffee House. Andrea. Myself. Mike Figueroa from the Humanist Report. I mean, it's an A-list lineup, folks. And of course, there's several other folks that I'm forgetting here. I have to look at the list, but yes. Maybe today I'll realize the stream ends. The Angry Ginger. Ah, Christina. With Movie Runtime. The Power Report. Left of the Box. Just getting a quick peek. David's report on the passing of Jonathan Haas, that was really good. Yeah, we need to watch that. We need to watch that. This pace, it ain't a race. We're going at our own pace, so make sure you follow this pace. Yeah, Cosmopolitics. That's right. I can't make movie night this week. Sorry, ADT. It's okay. It's my 13th wedding anniversary. Nice. Well, congratulations. It happens, Violet. It hasn't found an angry ginger. Oh, well, join us on this space. There is, it is rumored that there is an angry ginger on this space. I'm pretty sure Ben doesn't like me. He'll read my comment, but not my name. I talk too much crap on Jesus. Oh, no. My lucky number. Well, congratulations. All right, folks. I got to get out of here. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. We'll be back on probably Monday, Thursday tomorrow. Most likely no stream. So keep that in mind. And again, sub to this space if you want to support the channel here. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you hit the like button, follow button here on the Twitch, subscribe, share, do all the things. If you want to support the channel directly, hit that merch store, ! Tip. Substack, join the Discord for updates. Have a good day. Thank you. I appreciate it. Join the Discord for updates on the stream or just, hang out. It's a cool place. Appreciate it, folks. It's time for me to get going and get some food. Thank you all for being here. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Probably Monday around 5 p.m. Eastern Time. See ya! Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Michael Hasser. My rogue little mods. Hang tight, folks. All right, folks, hang tight. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.